Now, it's a bit abnormal for us to be shooting at night, but that is really the time when the big cats come out to play. And the big cat with us tonight is the stunning Jaguar F-Type Coupe. Taking shelter from the rain at Dasvina village in Lavasa just to stop and stare for a while. The tapered down snout, the gill-like air dams and the open jaw make it look ever so aggressive. Not big cat, but deadly dangerous shark, which, considering the weather that was insisting on drowning us out, was quite apt. Humor aside, the sharply styled front grabs your attention, and as your eyes move over to the sleekly styled side, you notice there's no B-pillar. The roofline just flows in one hydroformed aluminium clean sweep right down to the rear. Not only does it make for automotive art, but it's also the reason that this car is able to be as torsionally stiff as it is. But the view that I really like best is where it ends. The long rear back windscreen, the wide haunches which make it look the big cat that it is, and those signature LED taillights just paint a stunning picture. And you can drool, but this car is not only about visual appeal. It is sleek and sexy, but it's also a big, mean cat that can get your adrenaline pumping. And it sounds like it's always ready to charge. Some sound and light display this car can put up. It's a natural, ever ready to offer up a performance from its quad pipes. And what a sound! Which is why we had to show you in the silence of the night. But there was a selfish motive too. This way, even we could enjoy it more. Jaguar spent months right down to the end perfecting the sound is what I was told. And boy, have they achieved the pinnacle. The deep roar can be heard a mile down and man oh man, it makes the experience double and more. Tabs on pedal produce a throaty, raspy bellow that's just auditory bliss. There's a soulful blast as you move up the gears, but there's also that delicious crackle of the overrun as you come down. And that sound, oh, you just can't get enough of it. Never. Well, since the F-Type Coupe is 80% stiffer than its convertible sibling, it's really allowed Jag to push the envelope a little bit more and create an extreme R version, which is the one I'm driving. That hydroformed roof allows the coupe to be truly a monocoque and makes it an incredibly stiff chassis. Under the hood is a 5-litre supercharged motor that pumps out a stonking 542 bhp with 69 kgm of torque. This car is also 20 kilograms lighter than the convertible, which means each horsepower needs to move only 3 kg. Well, with that kind of motor, some of the wildcat genetics and that power to weight ratio thrown in, the results can only be described as unhinged. Now there are 3 different modes that you can drive it in. There's normal, of course. Then there's rain, ice and snow, which just heightens all the safety electronics to keep you well on the road. And of course, there's the one we like best, which I've switched it into at the moment, which is dynamic. This just hunkers the car down, gear shifts become quicker, the dampers become harder, steering becomes tighter, and the throttle response sharper. And by sharper, I mean that you can have quite a lot of fun. Accelerate through a corner and you can definitely get the tail out quite easily. if you are a true enthusiast and switch the DSC off, you can have even more fun. A drifter's dream is what this car really would be. And we had our own bit of fun, but well within control, with the price tag of this car looming large over our heads. And that's the beauty about this Jag. I mean, you can drive it hard and dynamic, get the tail out and have loads of fun with it. But you can also drive it a few notches down. I mean, path throttle, this 5-litre 8-cylinder supercharged motor has enough power to actually keep the drive thrilling and exciting. The motor is truly a thriller too, belting out power generously on demand. The 100 comes up in just 4 seconds and the needle doesn't slow down even after. You can hit ridiculously high speeds without realizing it. The F-Type Coupe masks it so well. Although we did notice at higher speeds, we got tire noise coming through. Now, uneven bits of road can really unsettle it a bit, and the tail's ever so happy to step out. But the traction control works really well, and it always keeps you safe. The P255-35 R20 front, P295-30 R20 rear tires, stiffer springs and dampers deliver superior dynamics. The new torque vectoring system uses these upgrades very effectively. What it really does is brakes the inside of the wheels when heading into a corner and works in conjunction with the rear electronic locking differential to bring the nose into corners smartly. Now, the winding sections of road in Lavasa have really given us a chance to test this car's handling. And I can tell you it behaves like a mean lift cat. It's ever so happy to change direction. Grip levels are amazing. But the steering doesn't offer you that kind of feedback, so sometimes it leaves you feeling a bit disconnected from the road. Does that matter? Well, not really, because every other aspect of this car is just so good you tend to forget this one. You can have fun, put it sideways, let it draw you back, put pedal to metal. And oh yes, when you do that, do it without fear, because the brakes will bring you to a stop whenever you want. Or then you can just cruise comfortably down a highway. And that's the beauty of this car. You can have your thrills, spills, action, drama, but it never lets you feel scared. You always feel in control. Despite all the sports car-like theatrics, you can really be comfortable in this one too. Now, what surprised us is that on our monsoon-created crater-filled road, this ride is quite amazingly supple for a sports car. We really were surprised that it didn't scrape its belly over the camel hump speed breakers or bottom out through the potholes. But what we did have to watch was its nose. The approach angle isn't the best, but as long as you don't go headlong into anything, you will be just fine. You have to learn to zigzag through the rough stuff. And whilst we're talking about comfort, let's see what the interiors offer. Well, it's the same interior as the Convertible, and in that sense, a lot of people may find that it's not as luxury as they would have liked. But I think it's comfortable, it's nice, everything feels good quality, looks good. There's some nice touches like the AC that comes up when you start the car. There are things that I don't like as well. Some of the plastics that are on the central console. And of course, things that are ergonomic, like the fact that I can't see the rear very easily at all. Parking is a real pain, and even the rear view camera, especially in our kind of monsoon weather, fogs up. The coupe's cabin is all about the Jaguar experience. The materials are all rich, the leather comes from the finest cows, and of course there are tasteful accents throughout the cabin. The two front seats are extremely comfortable, and you have the pneumatic side support to make you feel more bolstered when you're throwing the car around. It may not be the luxury that everyone expects, but it's definitely a comfortable place to be. The only problem really is, especially for women, watch yourselves when you're getting in and out of this car. It's low and you really have to step over the side step to get out. This may not be the fastest or the most precise supercar, but what it does have, and in good measures more than others, is drama. Be it oral or be it visual, I mean, just look at it. It's stunning, and that sound of the exhaust notes, well, that's sonic nirvana. It's exciting too, performance is thrilling, that tail-out action keeps you on the edge, and the good part is that it copes really well with the Indian roads. It may not be a car that you buy with your head, but once you're behind the wheel, there's a definite emotional connect and it pulls at your heartstrings.